And 3, 2, 1, live. Hello, welcome everybody to the January Gold Cup finals. We have Suka versus Takeru, which is going to be crab versus crab. A bit different sort of crabs, but Suka has been a mainstay of the finals. So yeah, definitely have seen enough crab from me. Takeru was one of my fellow pod players for January. One of my losses was playing Crane Splash Crab with 2 Letter to the Daimyo, a political rival or 2, and Steward of Law with Kunilabs. So we actually have a bit more of a conquest-oriented crab that is going to be looking to hit the opposing crab a bit more directly and on their weak side political with some covert. But overall the game plan is going to be the same, right? We strangely enough have a Shrewd Yusuki that is not rendering for me here. So in terms of game plans, there's not really anything concrete at the moment. It's too early for a Steadfast Witch Hunter. And Suka doesn't really seem to find anything relevant in his flip. He the Guardian with 0 holdings and the turn 1 Kisada is a bit difficult to justify. We'll probably see like a Silent Skirmisher play or something. Oops, seems my connection wasn't really all that well. Hope the stream isn't losing any frames. No, it seems like we're not dropping frames, so alright. Oh, and I seem to have caught up. Okay, so Silent Skirmisher Quartermaster, Student of Anatomies. Yeah, looks like Takeru almost found the same things with Kyuden and Hida. And we are contemplating the lone military attack. It also seems Takeru decided to bid 4 here. I'm wondering, am I... Yeah, boy, phew, my connection to Jigoku doesn't seem to be optimal, which is really the first time this has really happened to me. Okay, to catch up because we are behind. Holy shit. Um, we saw Yasuki activate on the military attack on Weight of Duty, then assassination on the Vanguard warrior from Takeru, then Weight of Duty the Yasuki onto the student, and we saw an elegant Tessen out of the student after Takeru won the conflict in the Earth Ring. And then the political attack, spies at courts find Talaka, which is good. Such lovely art on the one way to see. But yeah, with that kind of discard, Takeru definitely came ahead here. Now we find a Kunin laboratory. And this time we did buy Kisara out of the Kyuden Hida. Disciple on this side and Yasuki on the other. River of the Last Stand in the flop is definitely not optimal. It's only really a card that's used out of the Kaiju Fortress because you can so easily like go around it. Yeah, it's a rather easy 8 power with a favor attack, which breaks like standard crowd provinces, even with the double defense here. You see a watch commander come down first in response to possible cards. Yasuki activation from Takeru. Vessel field. Letter, which loses 1 honor. Shrewd activation from Suka. And that's probably what Suka can muster here. Maybe a ornate fan. Oh wait, yeah, the Vessel Fields was a sacrifice to Kisara. Elegant Tessa on Yasuki. Another honor drain. Alright, I was surprised how greedy Takeru's deck was because it isn't running attachment removal. steward of law into the conflict as well. His watch commander is hurting. Letter gets sacrificed, forcing Suka to discard 2. These could be pretty irrelevant cards, but with 7, probably still some good discards in there. Jade Tetsubo and Disarm. Currently, the Disarm isn't fighting for anything, but interesting, playing the Ornate Fan onto Kisada when there is a Witch Hunter activation with a Disciple of Shinsei. Of course, pre-playing before the Witch Hunter comes in is a lot better. But it was a pretty committal attack. And taking unopposed conflicts is not going to be super... it's not going to feel super well for the already watch commander drained. To be honest, there could be a common cause, of course. I kind of expect common cause, but if there isn't, I would have liked for the Kisada to attack, but of course there is a common cause. Also here, not sure if I would go for Watering. Well, at least we get a Fate. Oh yeah, has to sacrifice a Banzai into the Kisada. And then gets recalled, so that feels pretty bad. Yeah, that's a fairly easy defense against Tadakar military. And after the blanking, of course, we're just going to see Suka claim the favor. Way of the Crab would have been pretty damning. but looks like Suka is safe. That would be a reason to have gone watering. Okay, to Kuni Lab. He's going to make this hard. And a Pious Guardian to counter some of the honor laws. Definitely we'll probably see the airing here from Takeru, but first the Suka's conflict. I talked a bit with Suka, and it definitely looks like the sort of matchup where Takeru's deck is favored. Just because the laboratories do provide you with so much, and if you have something like a political rival, Crab is going to be hard pressed to deal with it. Military into the Courteous Greeting. Any attack here is going to be pretty easy to defend. I'm not sure. I wouldn't overcommit to defense like this. Oh boy. Because if I do remember correctly, Suka is only playing one with the C, and we saw it discarded. But I'm going to double check that. Okay, no, there are two. And there is the political rival. Air was taken off the board, but it's looking like yeah, it looks like Takeru could potentially finish here. Goes into coaches, but leaves the Tadaka. It's a bit weird because both, like the Guardian, can be an activator for Courteous Greeting through Kisada, so it's a bit of a waste of a conflict. Like, I don't immediately see a potential bump. So you need a Court Games after the Hida Guardian sacrifices to the Kisada trigger. As did I say Court Games, you need a Common Cause to counter Courteous Greeting. For this reason, I definitely would have just either went into the second province, which is Eternal Watch, if you then bow out the Guardian, I don't think they have anything aside from uh, I think there's still a Tadaka activation. Forge just goes into Iron Mine, but that's not. Yeah, the Void Ring was obviously going to go into. Going to encounter the Kai Forges into Iron Mine. Okay, Archwing discards it for shame, gets back a little bit of card advantage. And now I'd probably like to see like a fire conflict. But yeah, it's a bit annoying because you're not breaking. That over defense, like I see this constantly. People over defending a poke for a reason. You're ahead on 2 breaks. Please just defend for the honor loss with 1 and then just continue with breaking stuff. Force the issue. Now you have to keep fighting into court games or Eternal Watch. And now you paid 1 honor to gain 1 honor. That at least there's not another disciple or something. But yeah, Tadaka is staying in play. It's potentially staying in play next round. You can't keep the Kuni Labs. Or maybe you toss 1. Or both. But yeah, that over commit on defense is a critical play because this, like, you could have easily attacked with covert into Kuni Wasteland on the stronghold and just be done this turn. But yeah, now you made it nice and difficult. At least you can go water with covert first conflict, so that's a positive. Finds the last Kunin Labs, that's good. So it's a water covert attack. Please attack into the... Oh no, wait. It's also an Earth province, so attacking into Eternal Watch is not optimal. That just gives them a Cortex Greeting activation and a Eternal Watch activation, so that's not optimal. And it's better to just go and kill the... Oh no, wait, I'm an idiot that its Vassal Fields is the second. Never mind then. Okay, one of the Hida Guardians gets cancelled, but this is still +6. Which is not enough to be winning, but Fire and Oil is. Okay, but a rebuild of Kunin Labs combined with the engine is definitely good. Is Suka going to have a ramshackle facade or something to defend this? He plays 2, so it's possible. Otherwise, the Ornate fans have expanded. Watch Commander wasn't going to be enough. And neither was Court Games or Fire and Oil. There were targets for the Court Games that didn't lower power. Would have need to be Assassination. We see some angry, frustrated Italian. Or it might be Spanish. I think Suka speaks both. And I don't know Italian or Spanish well enough. But yeah, there's not really an attack here. And Kisada can probably come in on Military Void and be good. See a fine katana, but yeah, the ability got cancelled, so you can't use you. Because it's. I wonder if that's a rule change, or does that somehow not line up with how Ningyo works? Because as far as I know, people have always played the Ningyo trick to disable Kisada, but is that because it is put in an out of hand state and then loses the reminder that its ability has been used? Which definitely doesn't happen here. Because, well, you only put it out of the Dynasty discard after the ability starts resolving. Well, and the game has kicked me. So yeah, anyway, we have our Gold Cup champion. It's Takeru. But interesting interaction. I have to ask Workaby or something. But it's definitely logical that it wouldn't work out in this scenario, because the ability activates, gets cancelled, and you can't activate it again in the same turn. There was no change of zone, of in or out of play zone. But I wonder if Ningyo actually also shouldn't work then, or if that changed somehow. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This was the Gold Cup Championship. Winner is Crab, but more specifically Crab with Kuni Labs and Crane Splash won over the standard EBS Crab. So good to see some new stuff. He did well, Takeru. Alright, thank you all for joining me. Once again, this was Ikoma Tamara. Happy to be in some Alpha of our content. Look forward to me streaming games with Crane in the Gold Cup for February. And me playing Small Dragon Bushi, see how that one goes. For the May Swiss. Sorry, the March Swiss. Final thank you. And this is Ikoma Tamaya. See you all next time.